What's up, guys? Welcome back to Swish Life Garage. Today I'm back with it on the Civic. If you guys saw the previous video, I did do the tint on the windshield. I did 50% on the windshield to protect it from the heat but still give that visibility and not really look too much like it does have tint on the glass. Just gives it kind of a stock look, in my opinion. I'm going to continue to do the window tint, but now I'm going to focus on the rear glass, the rear windshield. Looks like it had some sort of tint on here, so they have used a razor blade on here, and I have tried to use the defroster and it doesn't work. I haven't checked the fuses, but I'm pretty sure that they ruined it whenever they tried taking off the tint here. I'm going to show you guys how we could clean up the rear glass without using a razor blade and just get it real clean so it'll be ready for some fresh tint. Since this car is pretty dusty, dirty from the inside and the outside, and also we have all the tint, all the glue residue going down to the very end, to the very crevice where it meets up with like the carpet for the rear deck. So I'm going to be working on the interior, really taking out the interior pieces from the rear here, and just so I'll be able to do a real clean install on the rear glass. I'm pretty sure this whole video is just going to be focusing on the rear glass. I want to show you guys some details on tinting. I showed some details on the front windshield, but if you haven't watched that video, I'm still going to go over those details. I'm not like the greatest expert or the biggest professional on window tint. This is just me getting it done. Personally, I probably tinted, I'm gonna guess, about 30 cars. Let's get started on the interior. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of difficult to get out without ruining anything. Got all these clips underneath. Even then, when you're about to take it on out, it still has like 4 other clips that you're not able to see from the bottom side. So it's a little difficult in a way. The other clips are going to be like right over there by the windshield, but you're able to lift it up high enough to get a tool in there to get those clips on out. So I didn't break any this time around on the Prelude. Whenever I took that one out, I did break a couple of them. What I'm going to do is clean up here on the metal for the upper deck here, just so when I install the tint I won't have all this dirt and dust, dead bugs and stuff all around. There's still a tiny bit of tint on there, and then on the edges. Firstly, what I'm going to do for that is I have my steamer getting warmed up right there, and I'm going to use that, try to get most of what I can of that old tint. After that, we'll try to use some chemicals to get some of that residue, some of that sticky residue off. Following that, probably hit it with some steel wool. It's ready to go, and I do have a stiff card or a hard card. Now I have the chemicals here. I'm going to spray it on there, and hopefully it should loosen any sort of residue that may still be on there. And after just letting it sit for a little bit, going to use a squeegee and should be able to take that on off. There's just a tiny bit of little residue of that sticky residue I could see, just little specks here and there. So what I'm going to use is some steel wool. This one is the quadruple zero. You could use the triple zero, so use one or the other. You don't want to go any coarser or you'll scratch the glass. So I'm just going to use that with the soap and water and just go around the whole thing and make sure I really get around those defroster lines, because it is like a little bit of an edge to it, so sometimes the glue and stuff could be in that little edge. You want to make sure to get around it, get any tint or residue that may be in there. Now the glass back here is really clean. After you guys saw me go through it a first time, after I turned the camera off, just real quick, again with the steel wool, went over it a second time just to make sure I didn't miss anything. On the outside on the glass, I'm going to get it prepared so we can start shrinking. First thing I'm going to do is soap and water with the stainless steel razor blade. I'm gonna get the glass ready so we can shrink the film onto here. And what I use is Dove bar soap. I just wet my hand, get it on my hand, and spread it onto the glass. It just allows it to dry easy, and it's super cost effective. This bar will last you forever. I know some people wonder why exactly do people put a layer of like dryer sheet, soap, or whatever they may use on the glass. And that's so you put a waxy layer on the windshield, so when you start shrinking, the film doesn't stick to the glass. The soap or the waxy layer allows the film to just fly over it or just slide over it and not just catch onto the glass and just bunching up the film. While this is drying, what I can do is take a measurement for the back glass. Right here in the bottom is going to be the widest part, so it looks to be about 51-52 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that. The film I'm going to use for the rear glass is the GeoShield Pro Nano 15%. I already got my rough cut of the shape of the rear windshield. Now I can start shrinking the film. I'm going to give it a H pattern. I'm going to go across with my Mac tack, but on the sides I'm just going to give it like a finger tack. I'm not going to give it the whole tack card, it's just a small amount. You want to see it in 4 different sections. Of course, we're running along here, you got 2 sections, but you could split it into half. So you got 1 section, 2 sections, 3 and 4, and that's how you want to go ahead and work it. Usually what I'll do is I'll come down to about right here, make it all come evenly before I start going down lower, because that's where everything's going to start kind of bunching up, and you want to really start to pay attention at that point. Whenever I come to this point, you have like a hand length, I'm gonna start to work the edges first. So I'm gonna heat up the edges and come out a little bit sideways and fix the edge, and then I'll work on the rest of it and bring it on down, just so that I don't get in trouble with my edges. I work that edge outwards, and then so basically you're pushing the film to go inwards. I just call it giving it wings. So you just give the hand length, give it some wings, and then you push the film towards the center and work it, and it's going to be a whole lot easier, trust me. You do see that side lifting over there. That's because the back glass is curved, so it's not always going to stick down, but as long as whenever you hit it with your tack card and then it sticks for a little bit, then you're going to be perfectly fine. So don't really trip about that. That does happen whenever it starts to come the curvature on there. I'm going to just hit those little bottom spots and then start working the top. The same thing, once I give it a hand length, I'm going to give it the wings, push the film in, and then it'll be a whole lot easier for me. Same thing, I'm in the same situation. I got about the hand length. I'm going to try to give it the wings and not have issues. It's completely shrunk down. It came out pretty much perfect. I did have one little incident here, just a little bit of a crease, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to really be noticeable, if at all. So now I'm going to put the LED light on the inside, and I'm going to start cutting around for my final cut. Everything is cut out. I gave the inside a double squeegee just to make sure there's no dirt on it before the installation. So now I'm going to lift up the film and wet it with the soapy water so it'll be lubricated, but as well still wetting the glass just to double make sure that it's going to have the slip that it needs for the installation. What I like to do is wet the outside before I start lifting the film, just in case there's any loose dirt that might fly in. So it's just going to tack that down, just anything nearby, before I start lifting. Everything has been triple squeegeed on the last squeegee. Really put some pressure and make sure to get any water, air bubbles out of there. And then clean up the outside of the windshield, and just to make sure on the outside if you see any bubbles, anything, to get to that. Once you have everything like that, you're going to hit it with the heat gun and just heat everything on up. And that's just so to make sure that everything is going to stay down, nothing's going to lift. If it is going to lift, it's going to happen pretty much whenever you do that. So just go all around, especially on your edges, and then everything is finished up. So this looks pretty good. Film on here looks pretty good. I did have a few spots where there's some, I guess, some nicks or some dirt in there, and then that's where the crease is at. But from the inside, super clear, man. You know, I'm just being very picky and showing you the defects. Your average person is going to consider this a job well done, honestly. If you want, you can nitpick here and there. Of course, I can get better as time goes on. I will get better. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I really wanted to show you guys on heat shrinking, getting those edges, especially on a rear window where you could start to see that curvature on there. That's something, in my opinion, will save you from just trashing film, having to redo things over and over, because I've gone through that as well, just trashing a whole bunch of film and not understanding why the film keeps bunching up in the corner. So hopefully that tip helps you guys out with it and you're able to get the window tint done, or if you're practicing, it helps you out just a little bit more and get to that next level. Like this video, guys, if you found this video informative, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Check out some of my other projects. I have quite a few videos already just on this Civic. You'll see the other videos up for doing the side window tint, just finishing off, and then I do have the video on doing that windshield. That's going to be it for this video, guys. Check out some of the other videos. I'll catch you on the next one, player.